In an attempt to change how human sexuality is taught in the public school system, educators and policymakers have advocated for a more evidence-based and comprehensive approach to sex education, with bills such as House Bill 859 and Senate Bill 1065. House Bill 859 and Senate Bill 1056, also known as the Florida Healthy Teens Act, advocates for comprehensive education concerning human sexuality in the public school system. If passed, the Florida Healthy Teens Act will require state funding for Florida public schools to provide comprehensive, medically accurate, age-appropriate information about sexually transmitted diseases during sexuality education classes. Under this bill, programs will be required to emphasize the value of abstinence, while at the same time provide information on the various consequences of sexual activity, such as pregnancy and sexually transmitted diseases, and an informative overview of contraceptive use. The bill, which was first introduced in 2008, has been revisited various times. In March 2016, the bill was reintroduced. During its recent activity, the bill passed through the Senate committee, but failed to be heard by the House, where it eventually died. Since the bill is yet to be passed, Florida continues to participate in the Title V Abstinent Only Until Marriage program.
Section 510B of Title V of the Social Security Act defines abstinence education as an education or motivational program which has as its exclusive purpose teaching the social, psychological, and health gains to be realized by abstaining from sexual activity. Additionally, according to Section 510B of Title V, abstinence-only education programs teach abstinence from sexual activity outside of marriage is the expected standard for all school-age children. They also teach that abstinence from sexual activity is the only certain way to avoid out-of-wedlock pregnancy, sexually transmitted diseases, and other associated health problems. They also teach that a mutual, faithful, monogamous relationship in the context of marriage is the expected standard of sexual activity. Next, they teach that sexual activity outside the context of marriage is likely to have harmful psychological and physical side effects. They also teach that bearing children out of wedlock is likely to have harmful consequences for the child's parents, and for society. Additionally, they teach that young people reject sexual advances and how alcohol and drug use increase vulnerability to sexual advances. And finally, they teach the importance of attaining self-sufficiency before engaging in sexual activity. Some benefits of abstinence-only education are as follows. Abstinence from sexual activity is the only form of pregnancy and STD prevention that is 100% effective. Additionally, teens who are abstinent are much less likely to experience a physically or emotionally abusive relationship, drop out of high school, engage in substance abuse, or feel pressured into having sex, which are all risk factors for teens to explore and become sexually active at an early age. Some studies have found that couples that abstain from sexual activity until later in their relationship or until marriage are more likely to have higher relationship satisfaction. Many studies have also revealed that low self-esteem is correlated with early sexual activity. Additionally, abstinence education places an emphasis on emotional love instead of just physical love. Abstinence education is the only program that receives federal funding. Additionally, sexual activity can potentially affect the teen physically, but also emotionally, psychologically, socially, economically, and it can affect their education as well. Finally, according to the National Association of Abstinence Education, there's a growing body of research that in fact confirms that abstinence education decreases sexual initiation, increases abstinent behavior among sexually experienced teens, and/or decreases the number of partners among sexually experienced teens. Some disadvantages of abstinence-only education are as follows. A report released by Representative Henry A. Waxman found that 80% of federally funded abstinence-only education programs utilize curriculum that distorted information regarding contraceptives, abortions, it blurred religion and science, amongst many other things. Additionally, over 100 medical and scientific organizations, including the American Medical Association, the American Academy of Pediatrics, and the Institute of Medicine, have gone on record in opposition of abstinence-only education. In 2007, a federal study on abstinence education found that these programs had no impact on the rates of teen sexual abstinence. Additionally, many researchers concluded that recent declines in the U.S. rate of teen pregnancy are most likely the result of improved use of contraceptive use rather than a decrease in sexual activity. Up to 70% of teens that go through an abstinence-only program will still have their first sexual encounter before the age of 20 or before they get married. And finally, overall studies of abstinence programs have not produced sufficient evidence to justify their widespread dissemination. Comprehensive sex education programs are programs that include medically accurate, age-appropriate information on a broad range of topics relating to human development, relationships, abstinence, decision-making, contraceptive use, pregnancy, and disease prevention. The curriculum of these programs is designed to motivate and assist students to maintain and improve their sexual health, prevent disease, and reduce sexual health-related risk behaviors. Some benefits of comprehensive sex education are as follows. A study from the National Survey of Family Growth found that individuals who received comprehensive sex education were 50% less likely to experience pregnancy than individuals who received education from abstinence-only programs. After rigorous evaluation, 23 programs that included comprehensive education were considered effective. Out of the 23 effective programs, 14 programs demonstrated a statistically significant delay to when individuals engaged in sex for the first time and helped increase condom use in sexually active youth. 13 programs demonstrated a decline in the rate of pregnancy, HIV and STIs, and a decline in the number of sex partners. 10 programs helped reduce the incidence of unproductive sex among sexually active individuals, and 9 programs showed an increased use of contraceptives other than condoms. The National Campaign to End Teen and Unplanned Pregnancy examined studies of prevention programs, and out of the 48 comprehensive programs, 2/3 had positive results. 40% delayed sexual initiation, reduced the number of sexual partners, or increased condom use or contraceptive use. 30% reduced the frequency of sex, including a return to abstinence, and 60% reduced unprotected sex. Comprehensive sex education programs place an emphasis on the teaching of sexually transmitted infections, which, according to the Center for Disease Control, young people 15 to 24 years old in the United States contract almost half of the nation's 19 million new STIs every year. With an emphasis on STIs, comprehensive sex education programs have been proven to have a positive impact on students' knowledge and understanding of sexually transmitted infections. Some of the disadvantages of comprehensive sex education programs are as follows. There are less federal funding available for these types of programs, and comprehensive programs do not take into account cultural differences and values. For example, some cultures and religions may not be okay with content of comprehensive education courses.